there's some people out there, you can't say anything to them about wealth inequality in America without them labeling you a Marxist, basically. You say, well, the top 1% control more than 50% of the wealth. I mean, don't you find that a little bit outrageous? No. They don't. They just think you're a Marxist. You're a fucking Marxist. You want to redistribute the wealth. Well, yeah, I do want to redistribute the wealth, but that's not being a Marxist. I don't want to try to make everyone equal. That's not the point. You know, we have to have incentive for people to strive. You know, there's ambitious people out there, and in their struggle to attain more and more for themselves, they do tend to create things worthwhile for society. Sometimes. A lot of them are just Bernie Madoffs who basically just figure out some scheme to get a bunch of money and they implement it. And he's just the one that got caught. There's tons more out there who aren't getting caught. And you know, and then there's of course scams that are legal. You know, legal ways for people to, you know, get a bunch of money for not really doing much of anything. But you know, but there are the Henry Fords out there who they innovate and they figure out some, you know, great new way to make a fortune that that pushes humanity a little bit further along down the path towards whatever the ultimate ends of our obsession with technology will be. Whether it be the glorified Star Trek future where we explore space as a unified people, that sounds good to me, hey. Or it be the one where we just annihilate each other, which seems the more likely, but probably not as pleasant. So maybe we should start aiming a little bit more for that exploring space together as unified people. Just a suggestion from me to my species. But yeah, the wealth inequality thing. You can't mention it. They say you're a Marxist. I'm realistic about human nature. I understand that people need some incentive because I'm the same way. I like money. You guys have seen me do advertisements on YouTube. Why am I doing those advertisements? It's because I want money. That incentivizes me. I'm open about that. I'm not. That's why I'm not a sellout, as some have accused me of being, because I openly, nakedly want money and will do certain things for it. Now, there are certain things I will also not do for it. But, you know, what I will and won't do for money is my business, unless it involves breaking some law, in which case then it becomes other people's business. If the law is legitimate, like murder or theft or something like that. Okay, so basically, I'm realistic about human nature. I understand that some people need wealth as an incentive. And for that reason, I would never advocate that we try to make everybody equal. Because first of all, not everyone deserves to be equal. Some people really do genuinely work harder for their fucking money. They work harder. They, you know, like someone who goes to fucking medical school and they gotta be the top of their fucking class and they gotta become the fucking surgeon and they make $500,000 a year. That's fucking awesome. They worked for it. Or if you're an entrepreneur and you come up with some great new thing that people really fucking need and you make a shit ton of money, awesome. That's great. That's wonderful. We're all very fucking proud of you. But, you know, if you're just some scumfuck who gamed the system and didn't create shit, and you guys have this big pile of money, what the fuck are you doing with that money? You know, you're just a fucking scam artist. You didn't create anything. You didn't create jobs. You didn't create anything useful or push the envelope technologically or anything like that. You made no contribution whatsoever. You just figured out a way to fucking put some dough into your pocket. Why should we respect that fortune? You know, we never make this question. You know, it's like you even try to make the distinction, and people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Money for nothing? That's the American dream. It's not my dream. It's not my dream that a bunch of people just exploit the fucking system and get fucking, you know, fat buku dollars, fucking swimming around in oceans of money like Scrooge fucking McDuck for nothing." Just because they fucking figured out a scam or a scheme or a game. I think that, you know, if you want to bring something into the world, if you want to be someone who creates things, if you want to be someone who is extremely well learned because you're doing something that not everyone can do, then I think you have a legitimate claim to whatever success you hold. But if all you've ever truly done is exploit, if all you've ever truly done is take, then I don't think you have a legitimate claim to some vast fortune. And I think that when so many people struggle to make it, when so many hard-working people can't make ends meet, it doesn't make sense for us to be talking about tax breaks for the rich. I mean, you know, there's this difference of opinion in society where some people have this idea of like, well, it's every man for himself. And then there's other people who say, well, we're all in this together. And if I'm on one side or the other, I'm on the side that says we're all in this together. And I'm a fucking loner. I hate people. But I still recognize that as a society, it makes a fuck of a lot more sense to be a united people striving towards a common goal than it does to be a divided people where everyone is just all about their own self-interest. I mean, self-interest has its time and place. The agenda of the entire species and where we allocate our money and our resources, that should not be about someone's private agenda. That should be about what's best for all of us. Now, am I a Marxist, communist, crazy socialist fuck for saying that? I don't think that I am. I think I'm someone who's advocating a fucking middle ground between two positions. I think that self-interest is good and wealth is good. And being driven to attain wealth is good if you're willing to make a true contribution. But I also think that taking care of each other is good. I think that when one part of the society is very successful and another part is failing, you ask the successful part to, tighten its belt a little to help the little guys out. Is that so fucking horrible? We're infringing upon their rights. Well, what rights? We were all born on this fucking planet together. When we formed a country and said that we're a country now, that means that you gotta fucking, you have to make certain sacrifices for your fellow countrymen. I mean, if you don't believe that, then fucking, I don't know, go to Somalia or something. Go somewhere where there is no country, where people can just do whatever the fuck they want. There's plenty of places like it in the world, and, remarkably, they're all shit. If you like that so much, then go there. See what it's like when people are just unrestrained and just totally motivated by their self-interest with no idea of cooperation between one another. If that's so appealing to you, the third world is waiting, motherfucker. Alright.